Good day, people. Another day. Have you ever heard this terminology? Another day in paradise. Nobody really means it. You know what I found out this morning? That we're each endowed with these gifts from the Creator. But the gifts don't come shiny. They come unhoned. And that you must polish your craft through repetition. What I found out was I have to polish my gifts. I have to work with them. They just don't show up. Good to know. Well, we're in the first phase after the full moon. We had the full moon. Now this is the first phase after the full moon. It's called the waning moon. Waning Gibbous. It lasts for 7 days. It's after the moon's illumination grows smaller each descending day. Now, after maximum illumination, I've been wanting to find out about the moon for my whole life. Every time I've ever looked at it, I wonder what it was, what goes on with it, why is it there, what is the moon, all right? It's been a great question on my mind for a long, long time. What is the moon and what is its point? Really what I want to know is, moon, what is your point? What is the point of the moon? So I've just begun my study of the moon. So I'm in my laboratory now. But I did find out today that there's the full moon, or you could call it maximum illumination. And then after that, it starts to wane, where it lightly, gradually decreases. Now, during these 7 days, it's a good time to focus on getting rid of habits that don't serve you. You want to remove a habit, you do it during Waning Gibbous, the first 7 days after the full moon. Good to know. Just found it out. Probably write a book about it. The moon. What the F? I think that's what we'll title it. Moon. The moon. What the F? It's a good time to get rid of negative thinking. If you have a thought that you have over and over, it's a negative thinking. The time to get rid of it is during your cycle of Waning Gibbous, the first 7 days after the full moon. Good to know. Just found this out today. And I've been wanting to know for 20 years. All right, now this moon energy that we're talking about, it brings about better communication and it helps you complete things. You got 7 days, baby. 7 days of Waning Gibbous. So we'll talk about the next section. Let's see here, do some short in 7 days. We'll do it in 7 days. All right, today, January the 11th, 2020, special day, people. 111, January 11th, 2020. These numbers are lining up for a reason. Things are getting better here. There is going to be a thing called 1,000 years of peace. All we have to do is look around and notice it. Check out the number. 111, 2020. 43 is the total, or 7. 7 has a very special energy around it. 7 has a protected energy. That's why when you go and you roll dice and you get a 7, you're in business. If you're coming out, you get a 7. Slot machine, 7, 7, 7. 7 is a very, very special number. 7 chakras. So there you go. Today's a very important day. The universe is taking a snapshot of your mind, and it's manifesting much quicker into your reality than on other days. Okay, so this is Abraham. You ever hear of Abraham? I like to write these passages of these other channels that channel the higher power. This one's called Abraham. Abraham said, you are understanding more and more that you're the creator of your reality, and you're understanding that you're going to desire more and more, and you're going to identify what you choose more and more, so you can allow it into your experience. But until you have stopped to identify what you desire, there's not a possibility of deliberate creation. They've been calling this segment intending. Breaks during the day. We're not taught to take a break in between one project and another and decide how the next segment's gonna go. What I'm getting out of this today, that this is the key for the coach. Key for the coach, here you go. Segment intending. You have your segment, and then before you have your next segment, you have a thing called segment intending, where you choose what your desire is, how you expect it to go, how it is going to go. And when you do that, you are then a deliberate creator. Segment intending, this is from Abraham, is to help you understand the value of stopping many times during your day to identify your desire, and then add your emphasis or your power, your attention, your voice, your directing of the traffic to it. Stopping throughout the day, taking a break between events, to not jam all the events together. Did you ever hear this terminology? Stop and smell the roses. Have you ever done it? For as many times as I've ever heard it, I have never on this planet physically stopped and smelled the roses. But that's all going to change today, people. When I see roses, and I will see roses, you know what I'm going to do? Yeah, I'm going to stop and I'm going to smell them. I found this very, very interesting. It's very important, I'm finding out, to know in my laboratory about time, how time works, how long manifestation takes. Abraham said these words: there is very little that you are living today that has anything to do with what you have thought today. No matter how good you're thinking today, what you're receiving today is what you did not think of today. So you have to be prepared for this thing called a backlash, which means you're going to receive things you don't choose because you didn't know about segment intending and didn't pre-pave it. So that's how we get into the cycle of over and over again. There's very little that you are living today that is a result of what you are thinking in this day. But as you are stopping segment by segment, identifying your desire, you set forth thoughts that begin to pre-pave your future when you are entering segments that are similar. What I get out of it is that all you can do is pre-pave. Sometimes we call it shipping. You're always sending a pavement to the next guy. You're always shipping a package to the next guy. And we keep reshipping the same package. The package comes, it's not good. We didn't even know we sent it to ourselves. We condemn it and we send it to the next guy, which is ourselves, in approximately 3 days. What this is saying, and why it's so very exciting, is that I want that anyways. I want to stop between segments more than anybody I've ever met. I want to stop between segments. I have it around campus that I am a segment man. Let me do my segment. And everyone's standing around and they want to ask me something for the next thing or what we're going to do next. And they won't have a question, but they just stand along the wall when they know my segment is not over and not to ask during the segment. Because I'd go all nutty about it, but at this point, it's not like that. But at one time, it was. Cuckoo, cuckoo. But if you're on your way to mastery and you're not a little nutty, well, then you're not on your way to mastery. If you're not crying almost every day, then you're not on your way to mastery. If you're not angry, if you're not upset, well, then you're not on your way to mastery. It's part of it. It's just part of it. Now, your decision is how much and how long you stay on those boards. All right, as you are stopping by segment, identifying your desires, you are setting forth thoughts that begin to pre-pave your future when you are entering segments that are similar to the segment you're entering now. But the identification of the attention of the next segment sets forth the pre-paving of the future. See, this is about the future, not the past. Remember, the current is the past. You have to stay out of the current and only ship or pre-pave to the future person if you want her or him to have a beautiful path. If you want it to be asphalt and have it perfectly smooth and have lines on it, then you have to pre-pave it. If you want it to be jungle filled with barbed wire, then just do that. This says here, the identification of your attention, this is Abraham, on the segment, sets forth the pre-paving of the future, and that pre-paved future is very favorable to you. And that you are a pre-paver only. And then you walk on that which you have pre-paved. In the beginning, you'll start to segment in 10. This is what they're telling me, coach. In the beginnings, you'll start to segment in 10, but there'll be backlash from the guy that didn't segment in 10. You're going to have to handle that part, and that part's going to depend on your speed. But in time, segment by segment, deciding your desire, you will have pre-paved a path before you that is very much, very, very much to your liking. Then you will not have to take so much action in the moment to get things favorable for you. My kind of thing, right? There it is. If you'll take it segment by segment, this is what they're telling me. Deciding what I choose, I will have to take much less action to get it favorable for me. Love that. All of your creative powers in the now, in the moment, but you're not only projecting into this next moment, you're in the segment. You're not only projecting into the next moment, but you're projecting into all futures that exist for you. And the more you are willing, key word, the more you are willing to stop and identify what you desire in this segment, then the greater and clearer and more magnificent your future will be. And your moment will be better and 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 better. And that, my friends, is universal law.